My name is Sia Liili, spelled Sialliii. I urge you all to please hear AB240, which will ensure that no female athlete is put in harm's way on the court or field. Uncomfortable and vulnerable spaces like our locker rooms, where biological males are currently allowed, lose out on scholarship opportunities, and give us the power to champion our sports again without having males who have a biological advantage. In the 2024 NCAA Division I Mountain West Conference, San Jose State rostered and started a transgender athlete. As the captain of the University of Nevada volleyball team, my teammates and I had the tough decision of taking a stand in the name of women's sports. Considering the reasoning of fair competition, biological differences, and ultimately the loss of an opportunity for female athletes. According to a study performed by the UN titled Violence Against Women and Girls in Sports, as of March 30th, 2024, over 600 female athletes in more than 400 different sport competitions have lost more than 890 medals. As a female athlete that has been directly impacted by the participation of transgender athletes in women's sports, I ask you to end this now. Please protect the future generations of female athletes from the mental, emotional, and physical warfare many female athletes have had to go through already. My question to those who want to diminish the opportunity for this bill to be heard, or even would vote against this bill, is how many more female athletes are going to have to get hurt, forfeit matches, lose out on scholarships, undress in front of men in their locker rooms, and even see full male genitalia involuntarily before you do something? How would you feel if it was your daughters, nieces, and even grandchildren being faced with this situation? Please allow for a hearing of AB 240. Thank you.
My name is Kendall Lewis, KendallLewis. I'm a student athlete attending Galena High School, and I am also a part of the Lieutenant Governor's Task Force to protect women's sports. I have worked very hard to put in the effort to get to where I am now in volleyball, a starter on my high school varsity team. When I first started playing volleyball 3 years ago, I never thought I would have to play against a biological male, considering when I signed up to play girls volleyball, the description seemed pretty clear. 12 girls playing on a team together with no male strengths going against them that would add a risk factor beyond the norms. However, a few weeks later I found out me and the 11 other girls on my team would be competing against a biological male. Experiencing this firsthand, fear had run through our bodies since we knew how it creates an uneven playing field and puts us at danger because of the upper hand males naturally have. It is scientifically proven that males are stronger, the vertical is higher, and their agility is much faster. Some of the balls this male athlete hit were hard to pass due to the power behind the swings. Confusion was another feeling we all had that day. The question of why the school and school district would allow a biological male to compete against us was a common thought we all shared. As a female playing in a women's sport, I should never have to worry about my safety or the safety of others on my team because a biological male is allowed to play against us. This is unacceptable for men to be in female athletics and to compete at a woman's level of sports. Athletics already come with a safety concern, and adding in the risk factor of a male competing against women increases the dangers. It's heartbreaking to see a male take away women's opportunities in sports, whether it be a spot on the team or a scholarship to play at a higher level. Women's sports were created to provide opportunities for fair competition among female athletes in their division. Although my time playing volleyball is almost at an end, I still have a battle to fight for future generations of young female athletes. I'm blessed enough to have the opportunity to stand up here before you, and I will do everything I can to fight for women's sports and making them safe for the future generations. It is time we step up and take a step for what we know is right. Thank you.
Thank you. Next.
Please hear AB 240. Hi, my name is Ava Chavez, AVACHAVEZ. I am in 7th grade. I go to St. Albert's, the Great Catholic School. I have been playing volleyball for 6 years now. Volleyball is my passion, and there's nothing else I would want to do besides this sport. Being a volleyball player means that I must always be grateful, even if you're a starter or a bench warmer. I have a dream to be a D1 volleyball player at the University of Georgia or the University of Hawaii. Last fall, I had to compete against a boy multiple times. The only thing I could think about was, what was their next move gonna be? Or could I receive what play he was making? Or even worse, was I going to get hurt from his hit or his serve? This is very important to me because I play libero, whose job is to take the most hits. Because I was playing against a boy, he took my mental focus away from the sport I love. Watching Sia Li'i, senior team captain of Nevada Volleyball, having to go through her last season and having to fight for her and her team's rights was sad and inspiring at the same time. Watching Sia gave me the courage to speak here today. I want to help keep my sport that I love fair and safe for me and my teammates. Right now, we are being impacted by adults making the rules. These adults should be protecting girls like me, but they aren't. So I'm calling upon you as leaders for me and my teammates and future girl athletes who are also dreaming of becoming a D1 volleyball players. Please don't let our dreams be given to boys. Change the laws and protect our sport.
Hello, my name is Miles Shaner, Shanor, and I am an aspiring educator who grew up in Clark County, but I attend the University of Nevada, Reno to become a public school English teacher. Alongside that, though, I'm a paraeducator in the Title I school in Washoe County, and I speak to you primarily as such. I'm calling for the amendment of Assembly Bill 398. To recap, this bill allocates more funding for teachers in high-need areas. As a paraprofessional, I am asking us to extend that funding to those of us who are education support professionals, counselors, one-to-one paraprofessionals, etc. I work in a primarily after-school.
I really do appreciate your testimony, and if you'd like to talk about education matters, feel free. However, AB 390 is not in our committee, so it's not within the purview or the scope of this committee.
Okay.
So if you would like to talk about education overall, please feel free to continue, but if it's specific to that bill, it's not within the scope of our committee.
I apologize. Thank you.
My name is Grace Nielsen, GraceNielsen. I'm a 14-year-old competitive swimmer for Reno Aquatic Club. I'm speaking to ask for your support of AB240. In the past years, the topic of trans women competing in women's sports has grown near to my heart. Because of this, I firmly believe that you cannot say you support women and girls when you value trans athletes' comfort more than our own. By supporting trans athletes, you take away so much from the progression of women's sports in even the past 20 years. Youth sports provide a safe environment for young girls to learn the dedication, resilience, and hard work that they have to put in to achieve goals. I know that without my sport, I would lack many of these crucial skills that make me a better athlete, let alone person. This is why I know it is necessary to protect women's sports from men competing or sharing spaces with female athletes. You might say it is irrelevant, given that this is not that common of an issue. The way I view it, it is not that common of an issue yet. When is the line going to be drawn to protect female athletes who have already been robbed of scholarships, been vulnerable in locker rooms, and have had to compete in unfair circumstances against biological men? This is why I am so passionate about this issue. I do not want to have to feel unsafe or threatened in a locker room or shower. I do not want to have to stay silent and compete in unfair circumstances. I do not want to have to be overlooked in my upcoming high school swim seasons or hopeful collegiate swim seasons because I lost to a biological male. This is why this is an immediate issue. I only have 4 years in high school, along with many other girls around my age who only have 1 or 2 left. And we should be respected for the work and dedication we put into our athletics and our chances of success that stem from that. I ask you to please understand the timing relevance of AB 240 and to look at this issue not under the lens of a political agenda, but through the lens of girls like me who care about our athletics almost more than anything. Please put us first. We are the ones affected by this more than anyone. Support AB 240 to provide and ensure the future of women's sports. Thank you for listening.
My name is Madison Hodge, Maddisonhodge, and I'm here today to ask for your support on Bill AB 240. I currently play volleyball, however, I grew up competing in many different sports, including soccer, swimming, and jiu-jitsu. I'm lucky enough to have never been forced to compete against a biological male, but I'm here to join the fight for those who have and for the future of female athletes like myself. Girls should not be competing against biological males. It's unsafe, and it puts girls in a position where they are scared to step on the court and fear they could get severely injured. Males are biologically stronger and bigger than girls, which is why we have separate sports in the first place. For example, the men's volleyball net is 7 inches higher than the women's for a reason. They can jump higher and hit harder, and putting them at a women's net gives them great dominance over the women on the court. Any male that is playing on a women's team is stealing an opportunity from a woman. It takes a lot of hard work and dedication to play at a high level, and it is unfair that women who work hard to get there are getting opportunities stolen by biological males. I understand the need for equality, but what about the equality for women and girls? I ask you to support our right to an equal playing field.
My name is Isena Allen, spelled Aisena, Allen, and I am a 13-year-old competitive gymnast from Sparks, Nevada. I am an 8th grader student at Sky Ranch Middle School. I am writing to ask for your support on AB240 as fairness in women's sports is so important to me. I have been a gymnast since I was 4 years old. I love the sport of gymnastics because it challenges me every day to be at my very best. I get to prove to myself that I can do hard things. My goal is to compete at a collegiate level just like my sister. I have had the opportunity to watch her and her team qualify for nationals. How unfortunate would it have been if they didn't make it to nationals because they had to compete against a biological male? Males were born with a high level of testosterone, which makes them stronger and more muscular. Boys don't belong in girls' sports. It isn't fair, and allowing males to compete in female sports gives them a major unfair advantage. Please support AB240 to protect girls like me who are working hard to achieve their goals. Thank you for your time.
My name is Michaela Kelly, Mikayla and I'm a 16-year-old gymnast from Sparks, Nevada. I'm currently attending Spanish Springs High School as a sophomore. I've been doing gymnastics since the age of 2, and I've been competing competitively since the age of 5. I'm reaching out to ask for your support for AB240, as I strongly believe in equal opportunity for women's sports. Ever since I was a little girl, I've dreamed of becoming an NCAA D1 gymnast. I have dedicated to training since the age of 5, and as of now, I spend more than 20 hours a week practicing. As a young female athlete, I have always aspired to be like role models in my sport, like Simone Biles and Jordan Childs, but I couldn't imagine linking up to a male in women's gymnastics. In the past few years, we have seen biological males competing in women's sports. You may be thinking that there's no problem with this because it's including everyone, but with that, we can see that it's changed women's sports. As we know, men have a different hormone buildup in females that cause them to generally be stronger and gain muscle faster. So even if a male converts to a female, they still have more strength and muscle, causing an unfair lead for them. This also affects females when trying to excel in their sport, but getting beat by a biological male. Another concern is with contact sports for women, to be hitting head-on with someone that has the build of a male could be very dangerous. This limits the safety and opportunities presented in sports. For example, in the NCAA for women's gymnastics, there's already a limited amount of spots available, and with the new rule change, there's even less spots. And if a male took my spot that I've been dreaming of my whole life, I would be absolutely devastated. I want to thank you for taking the time to listen to me, and I ask for your support in the AB240 to help all the young girls who are passionate about the sport like me.
Please hear AB240. My name is Amy Lunsford, AYMEELUNSFORD. I am 12 years old student athlete from Reno, Nevada. I believe girls' sports should be fair. When I watch men's volleyball, I see when they serve the ball over the net, it goes over in a blink of an eye, and it is so fast. When they hit with a lot of force, it goes straight down. They move so fast and they're very strong. In women's sports, the pace and speed is different. I play volleyball. My dream is to play volleyball in college and some point in the Olympics. It would be so unfair if a biological man takes my dream and my spot in a women's team. Boys and girls are built differently, and that's why we have separate teams. If boys are allowed to compete in a girls' sport, it takes away opportunities, and it can easily get us hurt. They can easily make teams or earn scholarships that girls work so hard to earn. We can still include everyone in sports while keeping girls' competitions fair, but girls still have their own spaces to compete fair and square. Please support AB240 to protect girls like me who love sports. Thank you for listening.
My name is Riley Rolson,
Roleson, and I am 12 years old. I am an athlete and student at St. Albert the Great Catholic School in Reno, Nevada. I am speaking to ask you to support AB 240 because I believe girls' sports should be fair. I play volleyball and basketball and I love it. It is so fun to be around girls and the atmosphere is just so amazing. So sometimes I think sports can be unfair, but I get through it and then just forget about it. But how would you feel if you were playing volleyball against a male athlete? Could you imagine the fear of getting hit by a powerful ball? Well, you shouldn't have to even think about that, but we have to. Boys have been playing in girls' sports more recently, which they shouldn't be. Boys and girls are built differently, and that's why we have separate teams. If boys are allowed to compete in girls' sports, it makes it harder for girls to win, make teams, or earn scholarships. We can still include everyone in sports while keeping girls' competitions fair. One idea is to rename boys' sports as an open category so everyone can play, but girls still have their own space to compete. Please support AB 240 to protect girls like me who love sports. Thank you for taking the time to listen to me.